Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us for our Little Italy of LA podcast. And boy, am I thrilled to introduce to you today our sensational guest, Romina Arena. She is an international sensation in every way, composer, singer, songwriter, Grammy winning. She's written books. She has done so much that an introduction doesn't even do her justice. Thank you for joining us.
Wow, so much. Thank you so much for having me, everyone. I want to say that the Grammy is more of a collaboration I've done. I did not win personally a Grammy, but I collaborated with Ennio Morricone, which won many Grammys. So that was part of my success as well. But thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. You are incredible. I adore you, and I'm so happy to be here.
Oh, what an honor. And by the way, that little backdrop behind you, I know that you're coming to us not from Italy at the moment, but from Hawaii, from your offices there, right?
That's right. We have an office here in Oahu, the island of Oahu, basically by Honolulu. And I am actually right now in the north shore of the island, the beautiful called Turtle Bay Resort. It's absolutely beautiful. And also we have, of course, offices in Waikiki Beach, and it's beautiful. It's not, I think it's beautiful, but not like Italy. I think we have amazing beaches there and places, but this is absolutely stunning. And the weather is, I wish you were with me right now. You could enjoy with me the warmth of the tropics.
I could have flown there. We could have done the interview in person, but we'll do that one next time. Okay, let's talk a little bit about you as a kid, because you've done so much in the years that you've been performing that it's, I don't know, you seem to have more months in a year than most of us. So as a little kid, right, you grew up in Sicily, right?
Correct. I was a little girl raised by a single mom. My dad, unfortunately, left when I was a kid. And we were just, she and I being very close. She wanted to fulfill a void that was left by my dad. So she literally sent me into the world of music and entertainment by starting with dancing. I was actually taking ballet classes, classical ballet, because I was in love with the sound of classical music. But then suddenly she decided to sign me up for an audition for the Italian Mickey Mouse club called Topolino. In fact, you have a good friend, Anna, that actually used to watch me on Italian television as a little kid playing Mickey Mouse. I mean, I was singing the songs of Disney. And the rest is history. It was a beautiful, a little painful, growing up with a father figure life. But my mom has always been an incredible woman, and I give so much power to the single moms out there and women in general. They do so much for their children. There's so much respect for me because I had a great mother that taught me the best. I went to the best schools. I learned 11 languages. It's been a great childhood. And, I had, of course, as you know, moments of my life that have been a little challenging, but my childhood was absolutely beautiful.
So you were performing at a very, very young age, and this is something you decided when you were really young that you wanted to do. You were dancing at the time. When did you get into singing?
I think it was pretty soon because I kind of went hand in hand the dancing with the singing. My mama used to watch me like moving and shaking my body in front of cartoons and music from television. So she thought maybe she can even sing. And when I did that audition for Disney, I remember I was scared, terrified. I actually remember there was a theater full of kids and parents, and when I got on stage, the Mr. Disney at the time, whomever was there in Italy, kind of felt that there was something special in me, but he wanted to hear me. I couldn't sing. I was blocked. So he sent everyone away. There were about 200 people in the theater for the audition. He sent the mothers, fathers, kids away and said, would you do me a favor? Can you just turn around, look at the wall and sing for me? And I was 4.
Wow.
I did not even know what I was doing, but I sang, my favorite, Topolino Mickey Mouse song, or When You Wish Upon a Star, I think it was Pinocchio. And he was completely taken away. And then they added some music. I started dancing. So it kind of singing went with dancing. Although I wanted to become a ballerina, that was really my dream, to become a classical ballet dancer. But then, my mother realized as a momager, that singing was making more money than dancing. So she said, you know what? You're going to be continuing on singing. And I was very sad. I wanted to dance. But I ended up buying her a house at the age of 6 with Disney. And the rest is history. Has been, from the moment on, the singing world, music as a creator or performer has captured. Music chosen me. I didn't choose music kind of followed me, and I had to fall in love with it. So it was a beautiful thing that fulfilled the void. Sometimes we feel so lonely without people that we love. If we're missing a loved one, and music finds the therapy, right? The way to connect to our hearts, and that's what I think. Ever since I was a little kid, I felt that God was giving me this opportunity to share with the world, and so I did. I continued despite the ups and downs of life, but still to this
And
day.
you had quite an up and down when you were about 15 years of age. Would you please tell our audience what happened? Because this remains an aha moment for me every time I hear it.
Yeah, so of course it's a it's a sad story that still brings pain in my heart when I talk about it. Although many times people talk about it, because of course there's a lot of curiosity and a lot of inspiration behind it. But I was when I was a teenager, I went to Australia, Sydney. I performed my first big concert at the Sydney Opera House, and it was incredible. I was opening for another artist,
Wow.
an older man. And basically this when I came back from this tour to Sicily, a terrible tragedy happened to me that changed my life forever. This other artist, for jealousy or for insecurity or whatever you, locked me into a dressing room, and it was not, thank God, it was not a sexual attack. But he had basically beat me up. He was high on drugs, alcohol, whatever you, and as you can as you can see, it's very emotional for me to talk about it. But he took a knife and he injured my vocal cords. And with that, of course, he beat me into a comatose situation in which I'm very lucky to be alive. But when I woke up from this chronic trauma, this comatose situation, I did not have any voice. I literally, my vocal cords were injured. That's why when I speak, I still sound so raspy. People think that I smoke. I never smoked a cigarette in my whole life. I don't drink. I'm a strange Italian. Hey, don't tell my wine partner. No, but the truth is that doctors say you never sing again. And imagine when someone deprives you of the most important thing that you have, like in this case is your voice, because that was the life I was given. Not having a family, not only having my mom, and music was giving me all the strength. Suddenly, even that was taken away from me. I felt like the light that God gave me was suddenly shadowed, was turned down because some devilish person decided to do that to me. But I beat all the odds, and after many years, 3 years of silence and surgeries and speech therapists and vocal coaches, huge doses of faith, which is what really rules my life, faith and belief in God and in the higher power. Not only my voice came back, but it returned with a higher, almost like a strange side effect. It returned with a 3-octave vocal range extension higher, taking it to like a 5-octave vocal range, which means pretty large extension as a vocalist, very rare. But I didn't. It was a completely different voice too, which was very strange, Deborah, because when I started singing, my voice was going all over the place. I didn't know how to master it because it was like, what is going on? And then I realized that there was a bigger mission. That wasn't just for me to sing to the world, be another singer, but really God, and I call God because I believe in that, wanted me to share to the world that there was something more. I had to inspire people that no matter how low you get in life, you can always bounce back despite the tragedies and all the things that happen to you. You have to find the strength. So if I can be the strength for all of you, for anyone, even if I change one person, even if I inspire one person with my message, then my life has been lived worthwhile.
You are such a beautiful person. I'm telling you, ever since we first met, I've been, I love when you say that. I'm a reflection of you. That is actually beautiful that you say that. It really makes someone feel very special. So thank you for that. Yeah, no, me too. But wow, I really, even hearing the story, and you tell it and I can visualize it as you speak about it. But the moment that you discovered that, oh my goodness, I have a range of 5 octaves.
Yeah,
what was that?
I didn't even know. I worked with speech therapists and vocal coaches. I actually worked with a lot of opera teachers. I did not want to be an opera singer, but one very interesting thing, I can share a little story that's very unique. I never told anyone. Scoop.
Oh,
So basically, because I was trained classically, and I never done that before, like I studied music, piano, because I compose, but I never really studied singing up to the moment. And I learned how to use, of course, my breathing, right? Because as singers, that's what they do, and the diaphragm, the muscle in my stomach, to basically bring the sound all the way through my cheekbones, making it vibrate, called the mask. It's called the
mm,
mask. So they're almost bypassing, not quite, but almost bypassing the vocal cords. So barely
yeah,
touch them, and then bring the sound from your cheekbones. Making, I'm trying to explain in a way that it's easy for everybody to understand, to your head tones, so that you can reach the high note. And it's
wow,
a very unique way you position your head to really obtain the sound. But it's a lot to do with your breathing and the way your mask, so literally the bones of your face, can work together with your vocal cords and your diaphragm, which eventually is the strength, right? Is the strength on how you deliver
right,
music and
right.
singing. So that's how it happens. I do use all this, and it's a lot of. I feel like I lose 10 pounds every time I sing, which is not a bad thing.
I have to tell you, I'm gonna. You
What
are
else
so
out
funny.
here?
Oh, I'm going to remember that little lesson that you just taught me when I'm singing in the shower because I
Yeah,
have no range. I am awful. I can
that's what
hardly
you
carry a
think.
tune.
Let me hear
Okay,
you. Let's do some singing. So maybe I will drink some vino at that time, and then we'll see. I think you can sing with me. You might be surprised. I made everybody sing.
by the way, you were so hilarious. By the way, to our audience, I did ask if Romina would sing on our show. She cannot because she's in the middle of practicing and she doesn't want to, sort of stretch her voice. Right? Is that how you say
I
it?
don't want to sound like
So
a diva. Just that it's also very for
no.
me. 11 a.m. is so early because I usually rehearse. I have the Hawaiian Symphony and other people, musicians that I'm working with right now on a major project here in Hawaii, and we rehearse until 2 a.m. in the morning, 3 a.m. in the morning. So for me, like when it's like you have an interview at 11 a.m., I'm like, what is it, like 7 a.m.? So my voice, and most singers would, when they go to, when I go to Good Morning America or any of these shows, it's so terrifying for me. Like I had to go to sleep at 4 p.m. the day before, pretending that I'm waking up like
Wow.
because your voice needs a lot of rest. So I don't want to scare all of you. Like, what the hell is going on?
No, I think people get it. They get it. They really understand. No, but I
Yeah,
just want. Let's talk about some of the amazing performers that you have sung with. Right? Tell us, would you? You can even list them because it's such a moment
yeah.
to even hear. Go ahead.
Yes, I mean, literally, I perform with everyone. I mean, from Lionel Richie to Brian Wilson, the Beach Boys, to headlining on Celine Dion stage at the Colosseum of Caesar Palace, to both Andrea Bocelli, to the three tenors. I collaborated with the Pavarotti International, to also producing a number of artists. I've been writing music from Britney Spears to the Sicilian tenors, to Andrea Bocelli, to Holly Steele and Daniel Emmett, which are the winners and finalists of America's Got Talent and Britain's Got Talent. So, and I also recorded music with a number of major Grammy and Oscar winning producers and composers, from my beautiful collaboration with the late, my mentor, Oscar winning film legendary composer Ennio Morricone, which composed the music for The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, Once Upon a Time in America, The Untouchables, The Eightful Eight, and actually his manager now, this is another scoop that nobody knows about, the manager of Ennio Morricone, which for the last 20 years has been transforming him from a composer to a pop star, because Ennio started touring the world with his incredible music. He's also produced Andrea Bocelli's latest Christmas
Oh,
special. He's now my manager, the great Luigi Caiola. And together now we're working on a spectacular project, another new record with Ennio, because when Ennio was alive, Deborah and everyone, he uh, he actually met me at 13, so before I was attacked. And I went to his beautiful palatial house in Rome. They used to belong to Sophia Loren. And when I was there, I was coming from Disney, and every kid at Disney wanted to do like pop songs, loves, teenager songs. I wanted to sing the music of Ennio Morricone. I loved the music for
ah,
Once Upon a Time in the West, and Once Upon a Time in America, and Cinema Paradiso, and all these beautiful new movies that he scored. And I said, Maestro, I want to work with you. And he's like, what do you mean work with me? You are a Mickey Mouse singer. What do you want from me? I'm a big composer. I said, but yeah, I love your music. He goes, go away. He goes, come back to me only when you make a career out of yourself. So it took me 20 years to return with millions of sales and major record deals I've done. And I came back to him and I said, Maestro, I'm ready. And he goes, well, first I have to hear your voice.
Wow.
And he heard my voice and he said, and this is quoted on the Malibu Times, if you Google Malibu Times, my name, and Ennio Morricone, he literally said to the journalist, Romina is the most dominant female artist I've ever worked with and singer. And he allowed me, as the only artist, at least the first female artist to write original lyrics in multiple languages, because I do write, sing, and speak fluently in 11 languages. But he allowed me to write for the first time and record with this support 15 of his most iconic movie scores of all time. So for the first time, for example, the music of Once Upon a Time in America became a song called Tio Amato.
Right.
Or the music of Cinema Paradiso, or even the music from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I ended up putting lyrics and singing for A Fistful of Dollars. So just, that for me was one of the biggest things among all the other artists I worked with. But also I've been produced by an incredible man who's no longer alive, but I want to bring up his name too. His name was Bob Johnston. Bob Johnston was the first record producer, multi-Grammy winner, who discovered and produced and even co-wrote for Bob Dylan, Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson, Simon & Garfunkel, and some girl from Sicily by the name of Romina Arena. And
some girl from Sicily, yeah.
Some girl from Sicily. Me.
You know,
these people
but I want to bring up, because you talked about being a female composer, right? Only 2% of composers are female in the world. That's extraordinary. So you are in great company, but small company.
Small company.
That's but how can we change that? Are you working with other women to try and change that dialogue?
Yes. I'm actually, well, first of all, I've been scoring movies, advertising campaigns, and most people know me as a singer-songwriter and executive producer. You know, I produce also television specials for Disney, ABC, ESPN, and I starred in them too. But in reality, some of the things that are very dear to my heart, and maybe because my work with Ennio Morricone as a composer, I always love to create scores. So music for movies, that was something that always talked to me. And as I was working on a Netflix project, for a project coming out, I just started reaching out to other female composers. And also I teamed up with one of the biggest Italian actresses in Italy. Her name is Claudia Gerini. She is actually the co-star with Keanu Reeves on John Wick 2. She co-starred with Mel Gibson on The Passion of the Christ. And I want you to interview her because she's incredible. And I mean, if you want to, of course, I want you to, if you like to.
No, it'd be great.
And she and I talked about literally creating even an award and more exposure for female composers, because we knew that something has to be done. I mean, I love all the male composers out there, but hey, we women have so much feeling and so much emotion that if translated into music, imagine what we could do if we can double, triple, multiply the number of female composers out there. There's a lot of female singers and songwriters, but not many women really take a stab at writing music for film, advertising, video games, which I do, all this stuff. So it's, and also for those artists out there that might watch, they might want to, perhaps support their career even more, as right now with with COVID, the performances are over. Spotify, yes, you get digital sales, but doesn't really pay much. Even if you sell a trillion downloads, you make $5,000. So basically, I feel that creating music as an artist, period, but in particular women, for media, a variety of media, which is also a lot of digital stuff that is going on now with Netflix, Hulu, and every day a new streaming service, the number of content is quintuplying, and we all need to kind of move forward for that, not being afraid to try something new if we have the talent. If you can write a song, you can write scores. And
let me ask you, if you don't mind being brief about this one, what is the process to writing a score? Do you close your eyes? Do you watch the film first? Like, how do you do that?
Yes. There's different ways. Everyone does differently. Sometimes, I personally have to read a screenplay first. For example, Ennio Morricone used to write the score without watching the movie, and eventually they kind of edit together. I know it was kind of strange, but that's the way he did it. I can't somehow. I mean, occasionally I would watch some scenes, maybe from the director's cut or editing, and say, "Oh, I'm inspired by that." So I can, if I look at the dialogue between two people, I will start hearing, just like I do with any other song. It doesn't really take a lot to write. I mean, I don't want to make it so easy, but if you can hum a melody in your mind, honestly, anyone can really write a beautiful song. If you, of course, you have to cultivate, you have to work at it. It's a craft, as any other craft. You have to work, on it. But if you work, if you let your emotions go and you hear the melody and you can hum it, you can literally. What I do is I hum the melody, so I read the screenplay, and then I kind of like hum some melodies that could go in different parts of the movie, because I know, working with the music supervisor, which is the person that is hired by the director and the producer in the studio to select the pieces of music that go into film and television, and I find out where music is needed, and then I kind of go into the recording studio, and I have, of course, my partners. I have GPS Songs, great partners of mine in Chicago, and we, among other amazing people, even the man that runs my company. There has also been a huge Disney executive, Forrest Fisher. He's also an incredible musician and songwriter. So depends who I am, or some other major people. Like I work with Fox or Disney people, and we come together, and then we bring the sound. So we start with the piano, and then we add, other, instrumentation, depending by the moment in the movie. It could be just a very solemn, very kind of darker or settled kind of moment, so you have to be very cautious. Or can be like a chase, so you have to be a little more creative and create the sounds of that. And so you work with a great engineer. I have amazing people working with me, but the creativity comes from me. Then Steven Spielberg always said, you need to, even if you know that you're good at what you do, you need to surround yourself with people that know more than you do, or they are great in supporting what is lacking in you. So I bring together great
Wow.
people, and then I let them
Wow.
do their job after I deliver the writing of the music. I write all my music, of course, and I produce all my music. I can also do on my own, but I feel that there's so much happiness in sharing sounds with others and coming together as a team. The studio work is just like the stage work that I do, is something that I just adore. So
Is
it's,
there one that you prefer over another? Like, do you prefer being in front of a live audience and performing?
I do. I
You
do love,
do. You
yes,
do.
I do.
Do
And I
you
miss the,
prefer, hang on, collaborating on a stage with another performer, or do you like to be presented on your own?
I
What
kind of,
really gets you?
well, as you can tell, I'm kind of powerful, kind of. Yeah, people go, Romina, so much energy, and I don't drink espresso, so it's kind of, I'm a natural high person. But
Beautiful.
so when I am on stage, of course, I kind of command the presence. But I do love having amazing people. I do love performing with symphonies, for example. In fact, we talked about San Pedro Symphony to do something there at the Warner
Oh,
Theater, many times. I do love working with that, and I do love working with incredible musicians. One of my best experiences that I've done on stage actually was working with two people, Jim Wilson, which is a Billboard top pianist, with whom I did an incredible my first PBS TV special appearance, and then one of my biggest exciting moments was when I worked in studio as a recording, and also on stage with the great Eric Rigler. And Eric Rigler is the famous pipes player that plays in Titanic, the famous
oh,
like all this pipe, and Braveheart. So he's the Titanic and Braveheart famous beautiful pipes that you hear on Celine and the score of Titanic and Braveheart with Mel Gibson. And he
wow.
played on my song Fly Me Home. And anyway, that was an incredible experience. So being on stage is definitely one of my favorite things to do. But I do love recording.
You're working on a film, right, about your life, correct?
Yes, well, there are several movies, and I don't know which one is going to come first, because we started. See, for example, I never wanted to make a movie about my life story. Never. I didn't.
Why? I
I
mean,
thought,
wait. Let me talk for a second now. Are you kidding me? You've done everything. I'm in awe of you. Like I said, you've got more
thank you.
hours in your day. No. You've got more hours in your day than I do. I don't know where they are, but you've got more, because look, you
I don't
perform
sleep.
for, no, you, I don't either.
Let's not
You
sleep.
perform, no, like 3 hours. You perform for presidents, popes.
Yeah,
You've
yeah,
worked with the absolute greatest, as you said, the three tenors Andrea Bocelli, so many others.
Yes,
You
yes.
compose, you Sydney Opera House. I mean, it's just incredible. You've been working with Disney your entire career since you were a
Yeah,
little
like,
kid at the
on
age
and
of
off, but
four,
yes, yes,
right? Since the age of
yes,
four.
yes.
Um, and they're doing a film, right, about you.
Yeah, so what
Um,
happened, Deborah, is that I was
yeah.
approached by a nine-time, I cannot reveal his name because he's working on four other movies with me. We're doing several major motion pictures in which I will be actually be starring in my first very own movie musical that I wrote, composing
Wow.
the music for, and I will start, and he will produce the two with a big studio. I cannot say much about it. Some people don't see me often go out there in the world, but I've been preparing the last couple of years. So even with COVID,
Wow.
I still worked
You're
hard.
working.
Yes, and I was approached by the team of this nine-time Oscar winner. They came to me and said, "We feel that your life story should be told
Wow.
because the world will feel inspired." And I rejected in the beginning. I just didn't want to. I didn't want to capitalize on a tragedy. I didn't want to make people think, "Oh, she's doing it for exposure." But then I realized that I could become the beacon of hope for people, and really not just the people that have dreams as far as being singers or performers, but anyone, everybody's dream. You have dreams, you told me, like we all have dreams, and we need to. Our job in this world is to inspire. So whether it's a story, a song, you do such a beautiful job as a journalist. We all have a message that has to be told. So if that is the case, if my story can be used only as a tool of empowering other people to believing that all things are possible with God, of course, and with hard work, because I have to tell you, this business is not for the faint of heart. Like if you don't have, and I'm Sicilian, I'm a young immigrant. I mean, I came here as a teenager, but still, I'm still young and I'm still, learning a lot about America. I have now, double citizenship. I'm a full American, but I'm Italian as well. But still, in the business, this business is very tough. And if you don't, I hate to say this, it's a cutthroat business. I feel like there is a book there, but I mean, like it really is because you gotta be very, very strong. And the message, if it's not for the right reason, there's no reason to do a movie about your life story. But I am
Wow.
not in a hurry to do it. Like this has been, we've been working on this for quite some times. But then I had a major offer from a film studio, which we're doing right now, and I accepted that offer, and we
Wow.
started working on Romina being the star of these musicals because I love musicals. As you know, I come from who said the voluptuous people cannot dance? And my background, of course, is dancing and music, but also I write and screenwrite. And so this huge, it's one of the top people in Hollywood, and you know who that is. We cannot say who he is, but decided to partner with me, and I'm so honored because I love him, and he's the
And
biggest.
I know he's a big one. He's a
Yes,
big mover in
yes.
Hollywood. And when you're able to, I hope you'll tell us because
Oh,
I'm very excited for you.
we're about to do actually. There's something more coming up that I cannot say, but there's an
Oh,
additional huge figure with him coming in on the
really?
television project I'm doing. So I cannot say much. I will tell you the one thing. I'm doing something extraordinary, which I don't know if I told you. I don't know if I can share more with you at this moment, if you allow me to, of course. But I'm working with Gigi, my manager, Luigi Caiola, along with Maurizio Bezzeccheri, which is the chief of staff of the city of Pompeii. Pompeii, as you know, is
Oh,
incredible city, the most beautiful, like with Rome, really is the city that almost gave birth to Italy because, with all the ancient Roman history and of course the Vesuvius, the volcano that destroyed, centuries, thousands of years ago, this beautiful city. Now we are going back to Pompeii with this nine-time Oscar winner, with a couple of other major names, because we want to promote Pompeii to
wow.
the world. And I invite everyone to visit Pompeii. It's absolutely stunning. Everybody should go. It's incredible. The history, even younger people, millennials, they don't even know what Pompeii is in Italy. You gotta go and see it. You'll be blown away. It's nothing like the movies that show all this, kind of fake, reconstruction CGI, but in reality, there's so much more beauty and history and culture in this beautiful city. And I am taking over something very important that was done in 1971 when the Pink Floyd performed. They were the only band performing in this
Wow.
particular place, which I cannot say what it is. But now the mayor and everyone, including the European Parliament, are behind me to do something for America and for the world to see. It's going to be done next year, and it's going to be spectacular with some huge names as my guest. So I've been working, girl.
I must come see that because
Oh, you'll
my
be there.
family.
You will be there.
No,
I have
I must. When
I
I
have
find
ideas
out
for
when
you
it
too,
is,
to be involved. Yes,
because I will, because my family is from
Italian.
Avellino.
I
We're
know
from,
you're
they're from,
Campanian. You're from
yeah, yeah,
Campania,
yeah. So just
and
east of there, I would absolutely be such an honor to come see you perform in Pompeii.
we need to
Oh
have you
my
there and you're on stage. Why
goodness.
not? Because I think
Oh my
you
goodness.
have you should come and interview everybody. Just have like a special
I, it would
edition.
be my honor, and I would
My honor
absolutely
to
do
have
that.
you. I will
Really,
fly you there and have
just
you.
incredible. Just don't put me on stage to sing. I cannot sing. You don't
You
want to.
never know.
No, no. When
No,
I tell you I
Romina,
can't,
Deborah,
you don't
we got
even
a
want to go there.
connection.
Really,
We got a
people
connection.
will. People leave the house when I start singing.
Oh,
I'll do what I'm good at. How about that? I'll interview
stop the
everybody.
madness.
But
You say, Mr. Wonderful.
yeah, you got that. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
You're also going to be doing something here in the States, right? Can you tell us a little bit about that for a couple of years? I don't know what I'm allowed to say, what I'm not. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes, I can. All I can say, because I am under strict NDA and I will be chewed alive and spit it out if I say everything. But I'm already like ruining myself. How can I resist you, Deborah? You're such a good interviewer that I can't. And I'm such a good speaker. It makes a very dangerous combination.
You make my life easy. I hardly have to ask anything because you have so much. No, you have so much wonderful.
Sure yeah, no, I was gonna say, I'm sure on Facebook, people are gonna go, this woman talks so much. I know
That's okay.
that, but me.
No. It's usually me who talks too much. I actually, you beat me. So this is great. But please tell us about. But tell us about what you're going to be
Sicily,
doing.
We win in talking too much. But yes, to give you an idea, yes, my biggest dream is becoming a reality. I have headlined Las Vegas many times, from on Celine Dion stage at the Coliseum of Caesar Palace, to the Bellagio, to many other casinos. I've done, and I've been very lucky to headline. So I've never had to do smaller rooms or smaller theaters. I've always been very lucky to go straight into big casinos, and I think that my work speaks for itself. I feel very confident. I love the Las Vegas audience because it's international. Everybody comes to Vegas, millions of people every day. So one major player in Las Vegas, which I cannot say, but I would say that just like the big Hollywood person that and the big player in Las Vegas that I'm working with, those
I
things.
do, but I'm sworn to say
You gotta
nothing.
be,
So.
yeah, you cannot say yet, but soon we will, and you'll be the first, I promise, to come back to say it. But he basically, it's so hard for me to explain, but I wrote an incredible show, and it's got a lot to do with Italy, and I cannot say much, but it's gonna really pay tribute in Italy on steroids, I would say, way. And this huge person has put together a huge team. Always working with my management as well. Luigi Caiola, my manager, is one of the biggest music managers in the world, with Morricone, working with Bocelli. I mean, he's huge, and he put together this with me as well. And yes, I will be coming back to Vegas soon for a very long time in a major venue with a major project. So it's a residency, but I cannot say much. Of course, we have to pray the COVID and everything goes through, and so we can move forward. But I worked on this for the last year, and I am so. It's exciting because it seems like everything goes well. The project in Vegas and my first movie musical with the studios are going to come out at the same time. So
wow,
you'll see a lot of me.
Yes. You work a lot. What do you do when you're not working? Because you've also recently had your share of hard. Well, I know you do, because you've had your share of some hard times, right? Someone that you love very much passed away this past year. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. My former manager and life partner of 15 years, Jay Hall, great man, who has really took me from, a little kid from Sicily to make me a star in America. He was an incredible human being with a big heart, and unfortunately, cancer claimed his life. I took care of him in the last few years of his life, and this will be my first Christmas without him. So it's a difficult thing. I try to numb myself, not to think about it. My mom is also battling cancer right now, so and there's somebody else at the hospital right now that I'm caring for that is battling for his life too. So it's been a very difficult year for everybody. We all facing. I am not going to put myself anywhere in front of anybody else because I know a lot of my fans and a lot of people out there in the world are suffering for COVID, for different things that have happened. So I have an enormous respect for others, but even through it all, I feel that my job is to honor the memory of people like all these people lost their life, and Jay in particular being a music man that wanted me to do great in life with my career and continue his work. And I'm happy that Luigi Caiola that came in. I'm known Gigi, the manager, Morricone, and the Bocelli producer for the Christmas special I told you about. The Gigi and I met in 2012. At the time, he was producing my record with Ennio Morricone, and I was working with Jay. So when Jay passed away, I reached out to Gigi and I said that Ennio died, his composer. Jay died, and they were both Scorpio at the same time. They died. It was crazy.
Wow.
They said the serendipity in some ways. And Luigi and I immediately said, yes, let's do this together. And we are building incredible things. I love him. You love him. You should interview him because he managed.
I'd love to.
And he's incredibly powerful. He's Italian, and has a beautiful. And he calls me his little sweet tomato.
Wait, that's what I'm going to call you. I'm going to call you my little sweet tomato.
Why not? But you know why? Deborah calls me the sweet, because he said, Romina, when Ennio Morricone passed away, I was going, well, I'm going to retire because, I made plenty of money, I had a great career, and he's young, he's only 60 years old. But he's like, look, I don't have to work anymore. I'm just going to cultivate my tomatoes in my garden. And that's what I'm going to do as a good Italian. And he goes, and they're good tomatoes from Campania, from where you come from, right? Avellino. And then I said, well, can I convince you to come and work with me? Because I really would love to. And he says, okay, then from now on, you'll be my sweet little tomato.
I'm going to write that down. No, listen, that's going to be your next album, My Little Sweet Tomato.
That would be sponsored by Giant Food, what do you call it?
No, I'm telling you, that's it, My Little Sweet Tomato. But I know that you were...
You, by the way, you are very funny. I got to tell you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I do... Thank you for saying that. I actually do comedy sometimes on the side, and people say, "Oh, you should keep doing it." I'm like, no, not so much. I don't really like performing so much. Actually, I prefer doing this. No, I like to ask other people about their lives. When I'm the one on stage, I get a little bit nervous. So I actually prefer not to. So I like to have.
You're nervous.
But I will. Yeah, I know. Once you know how that goes. Once you're on stage, it goes away, right? But just getting up there, it's like
adrenaline kicks in, and you kind of have to deliver, and you're just in the moment. I understand, but making people laugh is people don't realize it's so hard. But you are funny. I mean, when I say you're funny now, I mean, that doesn't sound well. Let me rephrase that. You're very entertaining when you want to be, but you're also very intriguing. You're a great journalist. That's why I call you the Italian Oprah, because there's nobody better than you. I've been watching you for so long, and you interview so many people that I love as well. And you're such a gracious and beautiful woman. So you deserve, and you already done enormous things with CNN and all the, the Los Angeles News, all the things that you've done. It's just, you talk about me and my background. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, what about Deborah? Look at her. She's beautiful and so talented, and we're so lucky to be interviewed.
Thank you. But I'm about this big compared to you, but I'll take it. Thank you.
We're all the same. We're just doing different things, and we work together to help each other. That's how the world should be. Like, there shouldn't be like bigger and smaller. I think we all human beings. We just need love and support, and there is space for everybody in this world. I talk to everyone out there that's so scared to lose their position. I know people that are watching probably going, but you know what? I know who they are. I know that they're watching, but but the thing is, like, we do have to be supportive of one another. We cannot go against each other. The world, especially women, we gotta be supportive. That's
what I'm saying, especially as women. Okay, before I let you go, and I don't want to let you go, I'm just gonna get on a plane and come visit you. What do you do? Tell us something about Romina that people don't read about and don't know about when you're on stage, like that we wouldn't even know about you. Tell us.
Well, I do love reading, first of all. I love books so much. I can just lose myself in a bookstore and just I love that. That is one of the things that I love doing when I have time. I write a lot, and when I write music, it's not just for making a business.
Right.
Um, because I'm going through a lot of heartbreaks, and actually,
Yeah.
a journalist called me the singer for the women with a broken heart because I do talk a lot about love, and I don't have love in my life, the kind of love, and I lost, of course, love, but I mean, I felt always that something has been missing in my life in that way, and I'm not afraid to
Mm.
talk about it because a lot of people feel lonely out there, especially during the holidays. And I want to say this is a message to everyone that is lonely right now, not to feel that way, to find strength in themselves, in God, if they believe in God, in the universe, whatever you want to call it. But just know that there's always someone out there to support you and to make you smile. I just, you know what I do, Deborah? I try to connect with people that need someone there for them. So when I have time, I am very involved. For example, one thing that's very important to me is philanthropy. I am supporting, and actually today, as December 15th, that we're recording this, we're doing this, there is a telethon with CRPS, which is a wonderful foundation with another Deborah, the CEO of this wonderful organization that focuses on raising awareness and funding on the research for people who are suffering from nervous kind of illnesses and diseases. It's not just mental, but literally even physical. When I was attacked, I had unfortunately developed some nerve system problems that have to do with my eyesight, with my brain, and I live with this flaring all the time. And people don't realize that people live with condition, whether you have MS or you're just going through any type of challenge of this sort, you're in a wheelchair. So I am actually focusing a lot of my attention on several things, several causes. I raised millions of dollars for a lot of organization. I'm planning to do that for this organization too, CRPS, and everyone. I invite everyone to support Telethon or whatever they're doing because it's incredible. So my time is this: it's giving back to others. I know it sounds something that somebody would say just to be cool, but no, I have no family. My mom is my family. She's in Italy, and I'm hoping that this Omicron will allow me to see her this holiday. But besides my mother and the people in my team that I adore as my own family, really my time is dedicated to the people that are in need. So anything that I can do, I'm launching a message to anyone that needs whatever I can do for them. I feel that that's what it's all about. When I die one day, hopefully when I'm 150 years old, well,
You'll make it. You will definitely make it with that kind of energy. Come on.
I will warn everybody else out, and I'll still be alive. No, but I'm saying,
and singing.
And singing, but I want people to remember me not as a singer actually, but as someone that made a difference into their lives. That's what I want to do. So that's what I do. Simple as that. No magic Hollywood stuff here. Very simple person, just myself as you see me. No filters, just me. Literally. Everybody tells me, Romina, you have no filters. My my public relation company hates me. Okay, you don't say this, you don't say this. And I'm like, blah, blah, blah. And then they have to
you know what? You have to be authentic to cut through. I do believe that. You've
Yes.
got to be authentic. I believe that. I really do. Anything you want to tell our audience in terms of how to get in touch with you, how to find you, your latest work that they can find?
Sure, sure. Well, we are, first of all, there is a wonderful Christmas album that I actually released last year. But right now, thanks to iHeartRadio all over the United States, thank you, Tony Clark, and iHeartRadio nationwide for playing my song. I have a single called Winter Sunshine, which is the single of a wonderful holiday album called Beautiful Surprise, A Beautiful Surprise. And it contains, of course, some classics of the holidays. It contains some originals like A Winter Sunshine that I wrote. And yes, it's the first that we can see on screen, the first with my half of my face in there. And and also contains something that I never released before, some tracks live from my first national major Disney, ABC, and ESPN Christmas special that's still airing on ESPN Plus, called Holiday Movie Skating Spectacular, where I had the pleasure to be the first Italian born to create, write, executive produce, showrun, and produce and star in this amazing holiday TV special, and international. We're bringing together the biggest ice skaters in the world, from Brian Boitano to Christy Yagamuchi,
Oh,
to Kimi Meissner. These are all world champions. Of course, my good friend Nancy Kerrigan, which you might be watching right now, is another amazing human being. They worked on some of these specials. And yes, and so I just I'm promoting this beautiful album, A Beautiful Surprise. It's on Amazon, it's on Spotify and Amazon Music, and Apple Music and all the digital platforms. And stay tuned, because we're gonna be launching this project called Musica Paradiso. The album is not done yet.
wow.
We're working on it, which is gonna be again a new collection, a new revised collection of the biggest not holiday but movies scored by Ennio Morricone, with for the first time lyrics of mine in French, English, Italian, Spanish, German, Japanese, and other languages. So it's gonna be beautiful, and I'm excited for that as well, because we are working with some amazing people. But I don't know. There's so much more. I mean, there's a book.
Wow.
I can also promote.
Oh,
This
that's
book
right.
is a best-selling book on Amazon, and this is called Where
What
Did
is that called?
It's called Where Did They Film That? Italy. So question mark. Where did they film that? Question mark. Italy. It's a movie guide for travel lovers and a travel guide for movie lovers of Italy. So I transported the audience to a romantic carpet journey into the most beautiful locations of movies filmed in Italy, from Under the Tuscan Sun, Cinema Paradiso, Roman Holiday, even The Godfather. Hello, gotta put The Godfather in there, my Pacino connection. And this actually book has a record. There's also with the same title, with Lakeshore Entertainment, one of the biggest entertainment film companies in Hollywood. They released the soundtrack companion album to this book, and soon I will be launching my own travel series with a major TV network as well, based on the book. So where did you film that?
Which is very exciting. That's really cool, because you take us to all over Italy where some really, really cool films were done. So that's exciting. Oh, Romina, I just love you. You're just amazing.
I'm gonna send you this. I'm gonna send you a couple of goodies for Christmas, and I have to tell you, the unique about this book is not only the locations, but I break down areas, places to visit, churches, museums, whatever, and also spectacular beaches, places off the beaten path. So like things that nobody knows about Italy, because I literally went in there with Jay before he passed away, and we spent a long time there, a couple of months, to just go through the most unique places where these locations were located, and not only that, but I included recipes from the movie. So there's the Godfather recipes, Under the Tuscan Sun, James Bond, which was filmed in Italy too, in Cortina. So makes a good gift too. Oops, sorry.
That is, I know, that green screen thing. It's like, by the way,
the thing is, I'm really in Hawaii, but I'm not. You can't see the ocean. You only see a bunch of jungle and frogs. By the way, there's a frog that won't leave me alone. I call him Prince, because I'm like, he comes at night, he comes in the morning. I'm like, do I kiss you? Are you gonna be the love of my life? Maybe that's what I have to do.
Oh, Romina, you are just such a love. I'm so sorry I have to let you go. Will you come back? Like, really, would you come back maybe before your appearance in Pompeii? Yes. Certainly before Vegas, or maybe we'll just come see you in Vegas. That would be great.
We'd love to have you. We're putting all the pieces together right now, and it's big, Deborah. So I'm very excited that you are the first in a very, very long time. Fans haven't seen me in a long time, probably over 2 years, except, of course, watching me on television or do the special, because it repeats, right, on streaming. But you're the first person I decided to do this with. And I have an incredible respect for San Pedro, for Little Italy, for all the people that work there. Of course, Greg Buscaino, of course, you and Anna, my beautiful Sardinian sister.
I love her. She introduced us. So thank you. Big shout out to Anna.
Anna, we love you, Anna. Absolutely.
Love you.
We love
you.
Oh
my gosh. So lovely talking to you. But let's stay in touch. I mean, I want to wish you a very, very Merry Christmas, because I know it's been quite a year for you. And also, this is how you get through it, right, Romina? You work, you make other people happy, because I know that's important to you. I know it is. You always leave someone I feel better every time I talk to you, no matter what. And I appreciate you for that. I really do. So you deserve all good things back to you, Romina. So thank you for giving us your time. A beautiful holiday to you. I hope you get back to Italy for the holidays. I really do. And let's connect in the new year. We'd love to have you down to San Pietro when you're here. But I really appreciate it. I want to wish you all the best and all the success.
Grazie,
And
grazie.
thank you.
Buon Natale.
Beautiful woman.
You thank you for you, and you are incredible. I'm so appreciative of your precious time and energy. I do not take it for granted at all. And to Tony, is it Tony, right? Your engineer that works with you?
Our engineer, he's somewhere back there, but yeah.
I want to thank you
So,
so much also for allowing us to do this today. And I want to say also, I want to do a shout out to also not only all the fans and all the people that are following us and all the Italian Americans and those who love Italy things, and also my team from Christopher Fisher, who's had the production, to Luigi Caiola, to Forrest Fisher, to the Ohana, which is the family that my team that work together, Maurizio Bezzeccheri, all the Lucia Wall, all the people that really Claudia Gerini, they're working with me and making my life easier with their support. So, and you, Deborah, are stunning, incredible. So I look forward to help you as well, support your dreams, because I feel that there's something that we can do, and I would love to be of help and support for all the things in your heart. Thank you. I love you.
I look forward to that. I love you back. Have a beautiful day.
You too.
And I look forward to seeing you in person and hearing you too. So thank you. And thank you everybody for joining our Little Italy of LA podcast. Make sure to check us out at our Little Italy district down in San Pedro. It's developing, and we have lots of great things coming up. So I'm your host, Deborah Zara Kobylt. You'll find this interview kind of everywhere, right? On YouTube, Facebook, IGTV. Then we transferred over into an audio podcast. So honestly, anywhere that you get your podcast, you'll find us. So Little Italy of LA, and also I simulcast it on Deborah Kobylt Live. So you'll find us. Thank you everybody for joining us. Ciao. Bye-bye.